We are on.
Okay, good afternoon. I'd like to call the meeting back to order, and we have been in camera discussing a few items, so I will ask for a resolution to please come out of camera.
Resolved that as per section 152(4) of the Municipal Act, Council of the Royal Municipality of St. Clements does now resume sitting of regular meeting.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Boulanger, Councillor Sutherland seconds. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, we are going to first of all deal with the resolution from our public hearing this morning, and if I could ask our CAO to please read the resolution.
Whereas on March 11th, 2025, Council held a public hearing to determine whether the 12 dogs that belong to Nate Matson are designated as dangerous animals. And whereas notice was given on March 7th, 2025 to the animal's owner that a hearing will be held to determine as to whether the animals are designated as dangerous. And whereas 12 of Nate Matson's dogs were engaged in an attack on 2 other dogs and a person. Therefore, be it resolved, Council has determined that the 12 dogs are designated as dangerous. However, the dogs shall not be destroyed. The following conditions apply. Council has determined that 1 dog named Tony will be recognized as a personal support animal for Nate Matson and returned to his home immediately. The remaining 11 dogs are to be returned to 33 Railway Avenue West based on the following conditions. 2. Council orders that Nate Matson remove the 11 dogs from his residence located at 33 Railway Avenue West within 14 days and relocate the 11 dogs outside of the rural municipality of St. Clements. During the 14-day period that Nate Matson must remove the 11 dogs, they be allowed to remain within the care at the primary residence located at 33 Railway Avenue West, but must be in a secure pen or locked structure. The dogs must be in full care and control of the owner at all times, which includes the dogs to be on a tie-out or chain when not in the dwelling and not to run at large. 4. Prior to the 11 dogs being returned to 33 Railway Avenue West, the pen and gate must be inspected and approved by the animal control officer. 5. Council instructs that the locked pen be inspected by animal control officer on a daily basis during the 14-day period until the dogs have been removed from the property. 6. Nate Matson must abide by all conditions and restrictions set out in Bylaw 6 of 2020 Animal Control. 7. Nate Matson is required to reimburse the immediate veterinarian costs that were presented at the hearing related with the incident and all associated kennel fees. And furthermore, be it resolved, the owner of the animals fails to comply with the requirements as set out by Council in addition to any other remedies or enforcement actions available, an animal control officer is authorized under the municipality's authority to impound the animals.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, second, please. Councillor Sutherland. Any further discussion on this resolution? Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
I think your spell check is using the wrong residence, the spelling. I think it's Residence.
It's in number 3.
And number 2, I think.
Resident.
Residence. Residence.
Instead of the T in there, take the T out. Tedious.
Is that 2?
DENCE. 3.
And then 3 is in there too.
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Sorry to be picky.
No, we need to be very clear on this. Those are the only two?
Okay,
The ones I saw, yeah.
Okay, I've updated those. Thank you, Councillor.
Okay, I have a mover and a seconder. If there is no further discussion, I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, we did some of our other business a little earlier today, so now I'm going to go down to item 12 on our agenda, which is communication for information. And I'm not sure if there's anything that anybody wants to chat about on our info correspondence.
12.2.1, is that one just talking about Calvito applying for a access permit to that property?
That's the province of Manitoba giving him access, because that's where he
Okay.
needed to get the access.
Yeah.
They just sent us a copy,
Perfect,
so we provided it as information.
thank you.
I do have some other items that I would like to bring to your attention
Okay,
as part of this.
yeah.
The items that I'd like to bring to your attention is the lease, the lease agreement for the Gaynor Family Library. That wasn't included in the last set of things, so we've got the lease and the co-ownership agreement in there, but the lease agreement was the one that needed to be signed along with Donaver, and was signed, and so that's the other agreement with the Gaynor Family Library that we want to bring for your attention. So all three of those are the agreements that we had signed at the event. The other is the memorandum of understanding. And so this was my negligence. What ended up happening was, council authorized the signing of the memorandum between us and RCT and SIO, and I said that it would come back to council. And so I brought it back to council so that it's brought back as information. This is the signed memorandum, because council had made a slight change that we had to negotiate back with the provision. So this is our memorandum of understanding for a possibility of building a large plant in the RM if they get their appropriate licenses. This does not give any guarantees for us giving any licenses. That's the province of Manitoba. This is about dealing and working with the large manufacturing company out of Germany. So those are the two things I wanted to make sure that were brought up to your attention.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything, Councillor Sutherland?
When I was reading this before, they don't want us to donate any land to, they'll purchase, if they do relocate here, when our.
That we determined at that point, as part of their presentation, was that they would look at doing a multi-million-dollar investment in the Royal Municipality of St. Clements with many jobs, and they'll probably be looking at various incentives anywhere from the federal, provincial, and municipal as need be. But that'll be at a later point. Right now, it's a commitment to work together to help find proper sites and locations. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Just in with the AMM, and I was reading, I don't know where, I'm not clicking on the things here, but June district meetings, and you see that they're not in St. Clements.
Yes, we'll discuss that. Did you find out?
She didn't reply to me.
Yeah, we're going to check whether, what ended up happening was when we were unsure of the event happening, or the activity center being completed in time because of some of the delays we were encountering, we asked them if there was any chances of switching, and they never got back to us. And we were always under the impression that we were still doing it, and due to that, the lack of communications, what it looks like is they've changed the location.
Interesting. Yeah,
So
and
we're gonna
that's-
find that out. So Heather's made a request back to AMM to find out what happened.
So we don't have a deadline for us. Thought that would be a good measure for us, because.
Yes, our intent was to have it there, and we pushed very hard with our contractor to make sure that it was delivered on time.
We won't tell them.
So
I was
we'll
kind of
follow up.
frustrated when I saw that, but they're gonna follow up, so,
We'll report back.
yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, anything else, Deepak?
Not as part of that.
Not as part of this, okay, so now we'll go to the council reports, and I'm going to start today with Councillor Boulanger.
Yes, just the one I have, it's March 4th, and that was the signing of the lease agreement at the library. It went well. Everybody spoke, all the mayors and spoke, the CEO spoke, and commented about Ken's hard work that he's been doing at the library. And it all went well. That's it.
And Ken had to comment on how long I've been around. Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
February 26th, had a Red River Basin North Chapter Executive Meeting. March 5th and 6th, I went to the Red River Basin Executive Meeting, and in the morning I had a meeting with Rebecca from the Manitoba area, and we went over stuff for the fish gala. And Wednesday we did board member team. We didn't go on a tour, so everything was looking after policy, governance. We did a review on the annual conference. Out of all the board members, and I think they might have even included the alternates, but there was only 24 board members at the conference this year. It's the lowest that they've had. It was 238 people only at the
That was the one in
conference.
February?
Yeah, the one in
January.
January, the one
When
that
we
we went
did,
to.
yes, in Grand Forks.
Right.
But yeah, it was the one that they've made money on, because they usually lose money on their conferences,
So fewer people, but made more money.
but made more money. So I think it was the venue having it there, and that's the one they usually get more people to, because it's the halfway point for Winnipeg going and Fargo going, so attending. One of the interesting things is that down there, they have the uncertainty with their other political ventures there and their news every day, but Ted still checked out and they still are getting their $20 million. So right now, they do have the health soil, they do have the farmers right now, they are coming across into Canada. They have 8 people right now on a board trying to create a different scenario for Canada. Each area has, whether it's Minnesota, North Dakota, now they're going to be bringing it to Manitoba, but Pepsi and General Mills have dedicated money to come across the border to use the American dollars to come across here. So they are going to start with some of the farmers probably next year once they get everything, a board created. And there's some of the other, one of the other things was, and I know that we do it here in Gull Lake, that they were speaking about the zebra mussels. So one of the things that they said that people are missing out on, besides boats going in and out of the water, just how they are stuck to boat lifts and docks, and how people sell these and they go take it to another lake, and that's another way that they're getting transported. So they said there is a 21-day waiting period, even if you wash them off, that you should leave it 21 days before ever putting that item back into water. But that's almost half the summer for us here. But anyways, they're just saying that to, so we aren't transporting the invasive species over. And I think they would like to just make people more aware of how they are moving from water bodies to water bodies. There are 5 lakes in North Dakota. I don't know, they didn't report of how many in Minnesota, but they said they didn't see that now that they've moved up into Manitoba, but we've had them up for a while. They reported the thickness of the ice. One of the gentlemen from Manitoba did, and he said the average right now is 27 inches thickness of our ice. And right now our frost depth in Manitoba is 100 centimeters. So that's close to 40 inches. In North Dakota right now, it's 40 to 50 inches. So they're going to take a longer time to thaw out, but we've had more snow for the ground cover than North Dakota has. So. But traveling down there, we could be looking like drought because there's not one speck of snow. They are expecting this week some kind of storm blowing into them, like unless it came north, then we got it, but they're hoping that they don't get it, but they said they really do need the moisture, so. What's some of the other things? I've got my other paper, I apologize. Yeah, the soil health project is going to be a big thing for Canada and for our farmers. So that program is going to start in 2026, that they'll start making payouts to our farmers. And I think there'll be an application that they have to apply for. So it's going to probably, I don't know how much up to north here it's going, but as soon as we hear about it, that we can get some of our farmers involved in it too and apply. That's it, and that's it, that's all.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Sutherland.
Thank you. Yeah, all I have is March 6th, I attended the EMO Spring Condition Seminar. I guess it was kind of not too much of a surprise for anybody, like the flood threat or everything's kind of either normal or below normal. The Assiniboine River, the flow rates are up a little bit above normal. The Red River, the flow rates are below normal. So it's, as far as the Fisher River, usually always is, they always have problems up there, so it could be good. But overall, conditions are normal to below normal. So right now, there's no threat unless we have a big flood or, snowstorm or something to create a flood.
Did they say why the Assiniboine River is above normal?
No, they didn't.
I'd like to know. The red's down, but the flow from the Assiniboine is up, is higher. It's coming from.
They had charts. I had a heck of a time. I think most people did. Their sound system, but the speakers that they had, it's very hard to understand, really hard.
That's sickening, yeah.
Well, the Assiniboine River comes in from the west.
From the west from Brandon.
Yeah, but you
Portage.
see, I guess when I went to, we were in Stonewall a week or so ago and there's no snow. Going to Brandon last week, maybe 15 miles out of Brandon, there was a little bit more snow, but there's no snow anywhere. Like you see all the topsoil is in the ditches and there's just no snow cover anywhere.
But the source goes into the Assiniboine and it goes down into the States and comes up north. So
Okay.
I think the States has had a little bit more moisture than we have.
So maybe that's the influence.
So that's
Say the Souris River goes into Assiniboine?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they just put the graph up and they, like two comparisons with the Red River, which is below the Assiniboine, slightly above, like nothing alarming, but it's just a little bit above normal for the Assiniboine.
And that's all you had, Dave?
That's all I have.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. February the 27th, I had our Red River Planning District. It was an HR meeting, so I can't really tell you much about it. And March the 4th, we had Gaynor Regional Library, the signing of the agreements that Councilor Boulanger brought up. And that's all I got.
Hey, thank you for that. I have a couple here. So we had we were all here for a regular planning meeting on the 25th of February. On February the 28th, I received an invitation from Lori Payne regarding a Blue Water project, and she had a gentleman, we've met with him before, the three mayors and Lori, by the name of Arnaldo Schultz. And he works with the Blue Water Project, and he is from Brazil, and they are doing work in countries regarding climate change and CO2 emissions and those sorts of things. So I was invited to meet with him. Mayor Sewell was there. Mayor Johansson unfortunately wasn't able to be there, so there should be some more information forthcoming, but it's basically to do with climate change and CO2 emissions. And then on Tuesday, March the 4th, again, we were at the library for the signing, and then March 5th to 7th, I was at the planning conference in in Brandon. It was very informative. And there were numerous presentations on a variety of topics or different areas. I attended the pre-conference workshop, which was all about natural assets and green infrastructure, riparian zones, and there was mention of Selkirk, what they're doing with their boulevards and things like that. The next day, I attended When Things Don't Go As Planned with public engagement. It was very interesting how things can go sideways very quickly, and I think that one was presented by the planner, the head planner from the city of Brandon. And basically what it came down to is we need to listen to the residents and look at the needs of the community. Another topic that I went to was why everyone hates government. We need to understand that when bringing in change, timing is important. There was a session on settler colonization and building capacity in rural Manitoba. And then there was a session on accelerating housing solutions and the HAF funding. And there were 2 reps from CMHC there, along with 1 CAO and the Director of Planning from Brandon. Few communities in Manitoba have received funding. Capion Barracks in Winnipeg did receive quite an amount for their funding, but they are looking at building, I think it was 4,000 homes on that Capion Barracks property. So they did get funding there. On Friday morning, Minister Simard was there. He did bring greetings from the province and spoke briefly on what was Plan 2050, which is now Bill 4. Plan 2050 is not moving forward, and the province is also having open sessions at the legislature on Bill 4. Those announcements haven't come forward yet, but there's going to be, from what I understood and what was said, that there's going to be a lot more public consultation with Bill 4 coming forward. Basically, his message was that we all need to work together to move forward. On Friday, after the minister spoke, we did have a keynote, Dr. Tim Caulfield, on Is Misinformation Killing Us? It was a very interesting presentation, and he said misinformation is everywhere, whether it be here or in the States, or it doesn't make any difference, but misinformation. And he said your public forums, like your TikTok and all those forums are the worst place for misinformation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess there are still some municipalities that are still having people attend regarding the now defunct Plan 2050, so they're trying to figure out how to deal with some of these issues that are cropping up. And then, a presentation from Manitoba Hydro on the use of electricity. They say the use of electricity could more than double in the next 20 years, and they need to be ready. There are booklets available on the website with some of this information and how they're going about it and what they think that they may do with hydro in the next few years. And then, building in the public realm, there was a session that focused on the City of Winnipeg's Center Plan 2050, and that's Winnipeg's plan, nothing to do with Centerport, because a couple of people kind of looked and thought it was Centerport, but no, it's Center Plan 2050. And what they worked through, or what they showed us, was the whole process of Riverwood House, which is, I don't know, kind of in the Kildonan area. It was very interesting what they had to go through to get this. It's transitional housing, and just they're small units with a central kitchen and dining area for those that have mental health issues or some other issues, that they can have a home there. And the last one that they talked about was they also presented plans for downtown development, including Graham Avenue, Hargrave Street, Donald and Smith. Very interesting what could happen down there. So I thought it was kind of different. And yesterday I did have a John Q Finance meeting, and we reviewed all the finances for the upcoming meeting next week. And that's all I have. Turn it over to you, Deepa.
There's a question over there.
Oh, sorry, sorry,
Not
Scott.
specific to you, but, so, I thought the last dam that was constructed by Manitoba Hydro, was there not reasoning behind it that we needed that dam for future use? But now we're still hearing, we're still not gonna have enough power? Like, wasn't that the whole impetus of those billions of dollars being spent? And now we're still not really there?
Correct.
Because this is like, so now they're talking about spending more money, right? Like, financially, it's starting to look pretty scary.
My understanding is no decisions have been made. It's an application they made with the Public Utilities Board to look at as an option, and no decision in government has been made on that at this point.
I just want to know if I heard it right when that was all happening.
You did hear it right. And you put in a proposal for
Bless you.
1.36 approximately, 1.359 I think, or something like that. And then $1 billion to build a plant that's to deal with shortfall in electrical power needs in the winter, as well as the increased demand that's going to be needed. So they need to build, I think, 750 megawatt.
But wasn't the dam up north supposed to be?
Not an electrical.
Maybe there was
engineer.
a miscalculation, I guess, is what I'm saying. Or maybe it's changed, right?
Well, I know they talked a lot about moving away from, say, most people have like electric heat, and now with the electric cars and all those sorts of things, I think they're saying, Hydro is saying that the usage is gonna really skyrocket over the next
Maybe it's an updated estimate and it's
Yeah.
more.
Yep.
Sandra, did you have a question, comment?
I was just gonna ask center plan, do you have more information on that, or is that something that's gonna be coming out, or?
No, I think.
Because I can see people mixing that up with everything, with all
I
the other
know,
stuff.
yes.
The Center Plan 2050.
I think if you look on the City of Winnipeg website, it's there because it was adopted in the fall, so it should be on their website.
Yeah, it kind of came out the same time as Plan 2050 and there was
And you
people were mixing the two up.
exactly, and
Yeah.
now they're gonna think then that if it's something going on, that,
Yeah, and there's still a lot of people out there that think Plan 2050 is still
in the works.
in the works, but it is dead, like it is absolutely dead. Bill 4 is what is going to replace it at some point in time, but as the minister has said on more than one occasion, even when we were there at the meeting with him, that they're gonna have public consultation right at the ledge for anybody who wants to speak about Bill 4. So,
Thank
I
you.
don't know, we have a meeting next week, so I'm not sure where it's gonna go or how it's gonna go, but that is the plan for the time being, so. Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll hand it over to Deepak.
Most of my reports will be provided in camera due to the nature of some of those issues, and
Okay.
I'll provide my detailed report at the end of the month like I do in a written format. And for this month, the one item to report is the library announcement that was on the last week,
March 4th.
March 4th. Thank you.
A week ago. last
I'm still having
Tuesday.
trouble. On that day, I was confused what day it was as well.
Go ahead, Sandra.
Do we have a new updated date for walkthrough at Sault Ste. Corinth? Because I know that was canceled, and I know it was very, very cold then anyways in February, but
If we're looking at the end of March, our project manager is away this week on holidays. And he said anytime at the end, in the last week of March, so we needed to talk. That was another thing to discuss in camera, I think, to determine a date that all council felt was convenient, and then he said he was prepared. A lot more progress has occurred on that site, and all the walls are up. A lot of the interior walls are getting drywalled right now. All the glass has been delivered on site last week. I'm assuming they've already started installing the glass because they had plastic covering it. And we also have this as a discussion item for in camera for some other detailed information.
okay, thank you.
Okay, Heather, do you have anything that you'd like to share with us today? Okay, so if there's nothing else, then I will ask for a resolution to move us back in camera, and we'll see if we can get these items done.
Resolve council recess the regular meeting and go into in camera to discuss legal and personnel issues, and further be resolved that all matters discussed remain confidential as per section of the Municipal Act.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, second, please. Councillor Belanger. No further questions, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.